Salutations, respected sadhakas. Let's together salute the Parabrahma Tattva, the Shruti Mata, all our Guru Parambara, especially the Taittiriya Upanishad Acharya Parampara, and our own Guru. The quickness of results depends on the intensity of sadhana. Intensity of sadhana depends on how we are convinced about the goal, how much intense and sense of urgency we have to reach it. More than this too, how much we have managed our inner equipments, which are the means for that achievement of Paramatma in their quietness, purity, in their own subtlety. So it is a lifelong process. So focusing on the process, what we have to do all the time means what I have to achieve, a clarity should be there every moment, and to achieve that, what exactly the state of antakarana I have to prepare, I have to have very clear picture about it, and then how to prepare my antakarana for that, I must know very clearly. More than all that, am I ensuring the preparation of my antakarana for the deeper, subtler journeys on the dhyana avastha, I have to know. Then, along with all, one thing which ever we miss is our negligence in spoiling what we have done by our own misdeeds, misdoings. In spiritual life, after a certain time of trying to do good or positive sadhanas, more of the development, growth, evolution depends on in avoiding what is that which is nullifying or neutralizing our sadhana. This is where we all fail. This is where we have to be slowly succeeding. How to do that? More and more time we have dedicated only to the Adhyatmikata. Luckily, it has got so many varieties. So many hundreds of varieties of sadhanas are there of the Bhakti Margi, Yoga Margi, Karma Yoga Margi, and Jnana Margi. Finally, through Jnana of Upanishad, Brahma Tattva, we are going to know the self. It is intact, this knowledge. But to avoid our doing those things by which the sadhanas done are utilized, what has to be done is those timings also where we are for some or the other reason pulled into the world, those timings also we should learn to engage in something related to the Lord, something related to spirituality. Now you see those Shaunakadi Maharishis, very intelligent they are. They know it takes lot of time for purification and sadhana. They also know that at the time of purifying itself, there are thousand chances for the impurification. They know at the time of doing sadhana itself, there will be the powerful force of the Maya to undo the sadhana. Then first thing what they did was 1,000 years they decided to do their yajna. That's a Sahasra Samamasata. In that, all the three they included. Early morning, they will listen to Tattva Shravanam. Daytime, they will engage in the Yajna Ityadi for the welfare of the world. Evenings, they will engage in the Purana Itihasa Shravanam. Thus, giving minimum or zero chance for ourselves to do those things which are other than apart from our own Adhyatmic sadhana is the greatest challenge which we have to take up, which we have to execute. Then only that Uddhareda Atmanatmanam at one side, Na Atmana Vasaded other side. Both of them happen. So maybe all that way understand these things, the need of these things. Let that commitment, sense of urgency happen in us, wherein we slowly dedicate our entire time energy only in this Adhyatmika pursuit. One hint here is what? Whether it is the mind inner or the minds of others. Whoever demoralizes in this path, in this sadhana, in this beautiful journey, whatever the reason, let us not listen to them. Let us not fight with them. Let's not listen. From within, the demoralizing thoughts are कि कुछ भी साधना नहीं हो रहा है, कोई भी प्रगति नहीं हो रही है. So there is nothing substantial change happened in my life. Substantial experience has not happened. Array, for having that change and experience, it is such a subtle art. It's a very tough, difficult one. Are you doing it that intensely? No, I am fed up of my life. I am not earning 10 crores. Array, to earn 10 crores, how much you have to work? Without working, how do you expect it? When the ambition is highest, then the effort also is equally greatest, no? So you have not done equally great effort, therefore that result has not come. Therefore, let the mind be answered by this. Yes, truly I have not done all the sadhanas given, and therefore the expected or inspiring result has not come. That should in fact make us to become sadhaka result oriented with more intensity rather than getting demoralized. Inner thing and the outer thing, just kuch nahi bach ke rehna. Give minimum time to them, zero mind to them. Even when you are compelled to interact with them, protect your mind continuously. Don't allow this topic of spirituality being demoralized in between. After all, we meet with someone only for some outer obligations or duties. Other than that, what do we have the relation with anybody for any reason? No. Therefore, complete that obligation, keep away from them. Just say, work is done, thank you, I have my work. Move away from there. We give a chance, then from the world those thoughts enter us through our ears, that which neutralize or dull, make dull our own inspiration to do our own regular sadhana, doing which itself we are struggling so much inside. If this care is taken, it will be better for us. Now, these 10 minutes of everyday chanting are to bring our mind from wherever it is to the theme of our sitting here called as the study of Upanishads. So, these chantings are to be encashed for bringing that mind concentration, bringing that awareness that we are studying the Upanishad with Bhashyam, and becoming conscious that all this is done to achieve our Paramacharama Purushartha called as moksha by realizing our essential self through the Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana on the self based on the Upanishads. So, with this clarity, with this awareness, when we listen, if not 100%, at least 5-10% of what we hear goes inside us. So, let's prepare ourselves with the chanting. Today's chanting is in our first Shiksha Valli, the convocational address. Start. Om. Nahi, before that, Brahma Jnana Prakashaka mantra also. Aham vrukshasya ririva. Huh? What have we done yesterday? No. Only up to Pranavopasana we have done. Now Swadhyaya Prashamsa. Rutam cha Swadhyaya Pravachane cha. Satyam cha Swadhyaya Pravachane cha. Tapascha Swadhyaya Pravachane cha. Damascha Swadhyaya Pravachane cha. Shamascha Swadhyaya Pravachane cha. Agnayascha Swadhyaya Pravachane cha. Agnihotram cha Swadhyaya Pravachane cha. अतिथयश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च मानुषं च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च प्रजा च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च प्रजनश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च प्रजातिश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च सत्यमिति सत्यवचारातीतरः तपो तप इति तपो नित्य पौरुषिष्टिः स्वाध्याय प्रवचने एवेति न को मौद्गल्यः तद्धि तपस्तद्धि तपः अहं वृक्षस्य रेरिव कीर्तिः पृष्ठं गिरेरिव ऊर्ध्वपवित्रो वाजिनीव स्वमृतमस्मि द्रविणगं सवर्चसं सुमेधा अमृतोक्षितः इति त्रिशङ्कोर्वेदानुवचनम् वेदमनूच्याचार्योऽन्ते वासिनमनुषास्ते सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्यायान्मा प्रमदः आचार्याय प्रियं धनमाहृत्य प्रजातन्तुं मा व्यवच्छेत्सीः सत्यान्न प्रमदितव्यं धर्मान्न प्रमदितव्यं कुशलान्न प्रमदितव्यं भूत्यै न प्रमदितव्यं स्वाध्याय प्रवचनाभ्यां न प्रमदितव्यं देवपितृकार्याभ्यां न प्रमदितव्यं मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव यान्यनवद्यानि कर्माणि तानि सेवितव्यानि नो इतराणि यान्यस्माकं सुचरितानि तानि त्वयोपास्यानि नो इतराणि ये के चास्मच्छ्रेयागंसो ब्राह्मणाः तेषां त्वयासनेन प्रश्वसितव्यं श्रद्धया देयम् अश्रद्धया अदेयं श्रिया देयं ह्रिया देयं भिया देयं संविदा देयम् अथ यदि ते कर्म विचिकित्सा वा वृत्तविचिकित्सा वा स्यात् ये तत्र ब्राह्मणाः सम्मर्षिणः युक्ता अयुक्ताः अलूक्षा धर्मकामा स्युः यथा ते तत्र वर्तेरन्न तथा तत्र वर्तेथाः अथाभ्याख्यातेषु ये तत्र ब्राह्मणाः सम्मर्षिणः युक्ता अयुक्ताः अलूक्षा धर्मकामाः स्युः यथा ते तेषु वर्तेरन्न तथा तेषु वर्तेथाः एष आदेशः एष उपदेशः एषा वेदोपनिषद एतदनुशासनम् एवमुपासितव्यम् एवमुचैतदुपास्यम् शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मावादिशं ऋतमवादिशं सत्यमवादिशं तन्मामावीत् तद्वक्तारमावीत् आवीन्माम् आवीद्वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ ॐ ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्यासम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः ॐ निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः ॐ शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् ॐ सुकृतेऽधिकृते बहुधा भवतो भविता समदर्शनलालसता अतिदीनमिमं परिपालय मां भवशङ्करदेशिक मे शरणम् ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि ॐ परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः श्री वेदव्यासवैशम्पायन याज्ञवल्क्य आद्यशङ्करादिगुरुभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपा अनुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव सिद्ध्यर्थं पुराणेतिहासोक्त भगवद्भागवतदर्शनानुग्रहप्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकहिन्दवसंस्कृतेः पुनरुत्थानजागरण विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगति विश्वशान्ति कल्याणार्थं ये ये धर्म संस्थापकाः अस्मिन् कर्मणि निष्ठिताः तेषां सदा सर्वदा शत्रुविघ्न निर्मूलन शक्ति साधना संपदा सानुकूल्यता सिद्धि द्वारा धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये दिग्विजयार्थं श्री कृष्ण यजुर्वेदांतर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदः पारायणमाद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे ॐ यस्माद् जातं जगत् सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रणीयते येनेदं धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः। येरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरचयिनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते। ओमथ तृतीया भृगुवल्ली ओं सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ अथ दशमोऽनुवाकः। In this दशमोऽनुवाक, chant from the third mantra. अथ दैवीः तृप्तिरिति वृष्टौ बलमिति विद्युते यश इति पशुषु ज्योतिरिति नक्षत्रेषु प्रजातिरमृतमानन्द इत्युपस्थे सर्वमित्याकाशे तत्प्रतिष्ठेत्युपासीत प्रतिष्ठावान् भवति तन्मह इत्युपासीत महान् भवति तन्मन इत्युपासीत मानवान् भवति तन्नम इत्युपासीत नम्यन्ते स्मै कामाः तद्ब्रह्मेत्युपासीत ब्रह्मवान् भवति तद्ब्रह्मणः परिमर इत्युपासीत पर्येणं म्रियन्ते द्विषन्तः सपत्नाः पर्ये प्रिया भ्रातृव्याः स यश्चायं पुरुषे यश्चासावादित्ये स एकः स य एवं विद अस्माल्लोकात् प्रेत्य एतमन्नमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य एतं प्राणमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य एतं मनोमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य एतं विज्ञानमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य एतमानन्दमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य इमान् लोकान् कामान्निकामरूप्यनुसञ्चरन् एतत् सामगायन्नास्ते हा वो हा वो हा वो अहमन्नमहमन्नमहमन्नम् अहमन्नादो अहमन्नादो अहमन्नादः अहग्गश्लोककृदहग्गश्लोककृदहग्ग श्लोककृत् अहमस्मि प्रथमजारुतास्य पूर्वं देवेभ्यो अमृतस्य न भाहि यो मा ददाति स इदेव मा वाह अहमन्नमन्नवदन्तमाद्मि अहं विश्वं भुवनमभ्यभवाम सुवर्णज्योतिः य एवं वेद इत्युपनिषद। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Friends, in Vedanta, after listening how much of whatever is heard, we have independently thought over, decides how much clarity, how quickly we get about the subject which we are studying. After that, wherever the upasana are told to be done, upasanas doing, wherever the change in the attitudes, intentions have to be brought when they are brought, wherever we are told to deny or reject something which is obstruction, doing it so, wherever we are told to identify with the thing to be identified with on the deep seat of dhyanam, doing that. These are the necessary, compulsory things to be done to get the result promised. Is are these all happening in us or not? Checking that is our own job and ensure that we have to do. And in those morning and evening hours of meditation, this is what we have to ensure. What I heard, do I remember? What I remember, do I do the contemplation? Of what I contemplated, am I getting the clear understanding? Out of clear understanding, am I becoming again clear in what is to be done in these regards? Each one of them, am I applying them on me, in me, within me? With this questioning, taking up one anuvaka, one mantra, one pada, one vakya, and in that the meaning understood and what is to be done about this. Should I change an attitude because of it? Should I give up something? Should I take up something? Should I detach my identity from? Should I attach with it? What is to be done there? True, should I need to do the upasana of that? In this sentence, what is the theme of that theme? What is my job? In this way, the one who is able to apply himself, he will be able to do the sadhana well on time and can ensure his own evolution spiritually. To come to that level is the grace of God, to come to that level is our intense desire, to come to that level is our own commitment, our own sincerity. चाहिए क्या नहीं कि तुमको भगवान पहले अपने आप को पूछो और चाहिए तो you have to be totally single pointedly you have to put the effort. There is no choice, there is no excuse. No, no, no. I will do samsara and other things and also I will do this. Means what? Do it, but all that doing will be nam ke vaste. Don't expect any growth in spirituality. Your samsara you may do it effectively. You can delude yourself by claiming that you are a adhyatmic sadhaka. But no, I said, there is no butting here. There is no ifing there. More and more dedication, increased intensity for the doing of sadhana. Only way. In the bargain, other things slowly have to get reduced and removed from our inner personality. But no, I like it, then I want to do that. Who says don't to do? Do, but then don't expect the result spiritual to come. Don't expect you to become deep, intense in your inner journey. See, remember that sloka. Paranchigani Vetruna Swayambhu Tasmat Parang Pashyati Nantaratman. Everybody is extroverted are the faculties. When you are having faith in them, you want to use them still, they will take you only to the Paranchi, the outside world. The Antaratman, you can never go to the inner Atma. Therefore, you have to be Kashchit Dhiraha. Kashchit person we have to be, who is what is his nature? Dhiraha. What he does? Pratyagatmana Aikshat. He has only one goal to see the Pratyagatma. And he is told for that. For that, you have to do Avrutta Chakshu. He says, okay, he has just closed all the faculties and keeping in mind the desire of Amrutattva Ichha. Now, this relentlessly when done, experience comes. Now, to learn the art of being relentless, we have to find the pockets of them times, whether it is hours or the days in our life's schedule. So, a day a week or a week a month, only to develop the possibility that exclusively we can do sadhana. To develop that ability in us, a week a month or 3 4 days a month, no other job. Only the dhyanam and dhyanam on the theme that which is studied. It will never give happiness. It will never give the result. Why? Still we are holding on to the asana. Still we are holding on to the worldliness. Still we have this idea. After these 3 or 4 days of spiritual meditation, again I will go back to the worldliness. That way it won't result. But the result of it is what? We are committed to 3 or 4 days exclusively. That thing slowly when we develop from the mind, the other things get reduced in their importance, our importance only for the Paramatma when it grows. At that time, even Brahmachanam, Shravanam, all of them, they have fulfilled their mission of giving us clearly the picture of what we have to reach, what we have to do. Then they also are kept aside. We are fully dedicated only for that. Any of the ones who have realized the self, definitely realized the self, have followed this path. Whoever have not understood and accepted and did this one, they remained as philosophers, they remained as intellectual knowers of the truth to some extent, because anything you study repeatedly, you get an idea of it. Nothing new, nothing great about it. 10 times you listen all Upanishads, you will become master of Upanishads intellectual. So, keeping all that in mind, only in this Taittiriya Upanishad, our Shruti Mata, before bulging us with the intellectual knowledge about the Brahma Vidya, in the beginning only, she taught us the variety of the upasanas to do. Even after telling us the Brahma Vidya, she is not saying Maine Bataya Ho Chuka. She says you have to do again the Upasanas. So it's a kindness of Shruti Mata, especially of Taittiriya, where before the Brahma Vidya taught in the second Valli, first Valli was dedicated to prepare us for the Brahma Vidya. After Brahma Vidya is taught, only Brahma Vidya मिला हमको ना अनुभव तो नहीं मिला ना Vidya won't give moksha. Anubhava gives moksha, Brahma Anubhava. So for that again, practically we have to take every care of the outer vyavahara, inner vyavahara, and then in and out everywhere seeing that one truth. These upasanas have to be done. These upasanas alone reduce the vasanas regarding the world and world being real. These upasanas alone will reduce our being extroverted again and again. These upasanas alone will give us the ability, subtle capacity to plunge deep in our dhyanam, where one by one kosha we are able to consciously become aware, know its limitations, know its relation with us, know that it is not mere mind, and then go inside. और एक दिन एक बार करने से नहीं, ये बार बार करने से the the vasana that I am not deha has to become so strong. The vasana that I am not annamaya, pranamaya, manomaya, then only again and again going back into this worldliness is arrested or avoided. In that achievement only, whole day except for the minimum required things for sustenances, such sadhaka spends the entire time only seated at his chosen place of dhyanam, only in this rigorous internal tapasya of reaching to the innermost self. That's why this third Valli is as important as the first and second, especially when it comes to our own preparation to experience what is said in second Valli. That is why each of the Anuvaka, and to create that interest, Shruti Mata brought that Bhrugu Varuna, Samvada Rupi Akyaika, and through that we are given such a substantial guidance for sadhana. Satapotapyata, Satavastattva, all that. Then, while doing that, yet we have to deal with our requirements, we have to deal with our relations, we have to deal with the people known to us or unknown to us without compromising our sadhana. Therefore, one of the big obligation is creating the runa in our life. To avoid that, we are told that you only give the people so that you don't come under any dependency, don't come under any obligation, don't come under any runanubandhana. How to do that? Annam na nindyat, annam na parijakshita, annam balakurvita, tadvratam, tadvatam, tadvratam. Then also, when you are dealing with the world, definitely the subject object contact will be there. That is what is experience. The experience is unit of the life. The life is nothing but bundle of experiences. Experiencer is the outcome of the connection with the experiencer and experiencer do. Only when experiencer do are there, the contact between them called as experience happens. The summation of all experiences is life. External. You can't avoid it. But it is the only obstruction for you from realizing your own self. Then what to do? Always find the equality between experiencer and experiencer do. Don't value any one of them beyond the limit. With that balanced mind, focus on that one thing which is expressing both as the experiencer, the object, subject, experiencer, the object. Therefore, to bring to our understanding about the oneness between subject object and make us focus on that thing which is supporting both of them, in every of these Anuvakas number 6, 7, 8 or 7, 8, 9, we have seen the second lines. प्राणे शरीरं प्रतिष्ठितं शरीरे प्राणः प्रतिष्ठितः तदेतदन्नमन्ये प्रतिष्ठितं स य एतदन्नमन्ये प्रतिष्ठितं वेद प्रतिष्ठति प्राणो वा अन्नं शरीरमन्नादं शरीरे प्राणप्रतिष्ठितः प्राणे शरीरं प्रतिष्ठितम्. And all this mantra, the theme of the mantra has to be understood, the need of the practice of that the theme has to be understood, and we have to practice it. Therefore, Anna, Annada change their position. So, sometimes Anna is become Annada, Annada become Anna. Our goal is to see that which is expressing both as Anna and Annada. When you equalize both of them, Pratitishthati. Having Pratitishthati, you will need not to suffer for the things required for the of the world. The Samashti, the Ishvara, the Paramatma only supplies to you what you need. More than what you need, it will be given, but you need not attend to them. Whatever is needed, you involve in them. Remaining time, you just spend in discovering that self only beyond the Panchakosha. That's the meaning of the Phala Shruti given. Annavanannado bhavati mahan bhavati prajaya pashuvirbrahmavarchasena mahan kirtya. The purpose of giving these Shrutis, please don't waste your time, energy in trying to get them specially. They should not be your main goal. They will be a byproduct as a gift given to you. When you focus your attention on the substratum, pratitishthati, obviously these will become yours. You become the king. Obviously, you get the power to command every one of them. You get all the everyday sevas from the whole people. उसके लिए तुमको स्पेशल नहीं करना मेहनत. You become the king, all are taken care. In the same way, don't try to put words become Annavan, Annada, Mahan, Prajaya, Mahan, Pashuvihi, Mahan, Brahmavarchasena, Mahan, Kirtya. सारा समय में उसी में जाता है. That is Maya again. Even though when we come to spiritual sadhana, these are the things that distract us when we are inadvertent, and generally we are inadvertent. So then Shruti Maharaj says, इन ये चीज भी चाहिए ना तुमको, हम दे देंगे बाद में, पहले तुम ये करो. First to realize yourself, these are all will be given to you as a gift. Don't worry further. And when one is discovering the self in this way, keeping the interest on these things away, and as said by Shruti Mata, with faith on her, that she promises she will give them later on. As he reaches near to the self bliss is so great. All these, Mahan Bhavati Prajaya, Pashubi Kirtya, they all appear to be so fika, the mind will be withdrawn from that only. And yet they are given. This realized saint uses all of them again in spreading the scriptural knowledge of the self and truth to the world around. They are required for the post-realization. Santa, if at all, through him the Ishvara has to work in spreading the scriptural knowledge, thereby the truth to the masses, to the jivas. Otherwise, he says, I am in my own bliss. Like you can see the two examples of the Tapan Maharaj and Puja Gurudev. Tapan Maharaj, in his state of being, he was given Annavan, Annadaha, Mahan, Prajaya, Pashubi, Brahmavachase, Nagirti. He said, I don't want, I am happy in my own Kutya, in my own bliss, wherever Yatra Yatra Manoyati, Tatra Tatra Samadhaya. But why not you take care of the people? Anybody comes to me, I'll strictly check them. If they deserve, I'll give Mahavakya Upadesha, Upanishad Upadesha. If they learn, learn. If they do, if they reach. If they don't, they don't. I have no struggle at all. This is the other extreme, Puja Gurudev. All these things which were given to Maharaj, he denied them. Given to Gurudev, he used them. Prajaya, so many of the disciples, Pashubihi, so many of the variety of centers, Brahmavarchasena, the power of his remembrance, even after his 30 years he left, so much reverberating in every bhakta and sadhaka's heart. Mahan Kirtya, see the name and fame. He used them for the Lord's work. So one need not attend to them. Don't keep them as the goal. To inform them, they are told as the byproducts. But your job is pratitishthati. You be established in first the outside, the samatha between the subject object, and therefore don't value it. Then focus on what is the substratum of the both subject and object. That substratum is what is reached through Anna Prana Mano Kosha journey, and through the Vijnanamaya Guha into that the pure conscious existence we have to reach out to. So how wonderful, see the guidance that's given in our Upanishad. Every Upanishad so complete, so sweet, so clear, so inspirational, so wonderful. If we can have that certainty to understand, use them. Having done that, now in the 10th Anuvakam, which is again the last one, but very substantial from the content standpoint, from the sadhana to be done standpoint. In fact, like which we just chanted now, the convocational address, Vedamanuchacharyunte, is not every of the sadhanas that are required to be done, but are they not told in it? Equally powerful is this Dashamonuvakaha. So fantastic, so complete. It is actually the essence of the entire Upanishad. He tells us how we have to deal with the people when they come to us. We do not go. तुम अतिथि बनकर कहीं मत जाना, तुम अपने आध्यात्मिक साधना में हो. When somebody comes to you as an atithi, how you have to deal with? Is it not? While dealing with it, how you have to mind your mind where it is not doing the madhyataha and antataha, but it is doing all that mukataha, daradham. And again, just the again and again, the mind has the tendency of expectation. अब एक उसको मुँह कैसे बंद करें? हर बार सप्रेशन से नहीं कर सकते। देखो द माइंड इज़ टोल्ड बेटा तुम्हारा एक्सपेक्टेशन फुलफिल होएगा। व्हाट इज़ दैट? If you do mukataha, you get mukataha. If you do madhyataha, you get madhyataha. If you do the antataha, you do get antataha. Therefore, don't try to focus on what you get. You try to focus on what you do. So do that na kanchana vastu pratyachakshita with mukataha. You will be ensured. You will be secured. You don't need to put an extra effort. In this way, the obligation of somebody coming to us, converting into sadhana, the obvious result of that positive ensured by doing these things mukataha. See, if all these things are clear in our mind, in our Shuddha Sattva Guna of the mind and intellect, the picture is very clear what to do. Is it not the clarity of Dashamanuvaka? Dekho, the Kanchana Vasado Pratyachakshita Tadvratao, give security and safety to everyone. That's the meaning of Vasato na Pratyachakshita. Thereafter, once the security is done, then the needful things for survival, sustenance are required. They were regarding that also. Ensure that you are able to provide to others. In that, the ego is gone away. Because of sharing, your mamata on the things have gone away. Because of that loving sharing, you got united with that person as if he is your own self. Therefore, the sense of duality is not there. After that, only there will be raga dvesha. Now, there is no raga dvesha, there is pure prema. Because lovingly only you are offering him the security and necessity. Tasmadaya kaya chavidaya bahu annam prapnuyat. And have that great voice in your throat. Aradhyasmai annam. Annam is ready for that person. Please come and have it. You know, some houses, some traditionally, okay, so beautiful it is to see when the Atithis come. So lovingly they call them, make them sit for bhojano, and they talk all language कि क्षमा कीजिएगा बहुत आइटम्स नहीं बनाए और कैसा रहेगा टेस्ट हमको नहीं पता, क्षमा कीजिएगा आप जैसा है आप उसको पा लीजिएगा. See that beautiful attitude. Did you see that? This is a very traditional thing in many Orthodox families, even in the places like Uttarakashi and all, where the sadhus are called for Bandara. So that in the announcement, the host says, whoever may be, महात्मा हूँ आपका आने का धन्यवाद है भोजन भाई है. If at all any shortcomings in that, क्षमा कीजिएगा इतना ही हम कर पाए हैं. This is the meaning of Aradhi Asmai Annam Idi Achakshate. In this type of tone, tune, and words, the mamata to the objects, the expectation of the result of giving that food to others, our own arrogance that we are giving the anna, all the nonsense is arrested. We have to damn all these damn it things in our life. They are all the nothing but kachra of the mind. We are here only to give what we have to others and to be what we are. That's it. This was the third thing to do. हमको सब कुछ देना है, अपने आप में रहना है. ये दोनों चीजें ही हमको करने को है. For that only we came. Not to forget the self, not to hold the not self. If the one who to whom it clicks, it is easy for him to do all this sadhana. That is why listening to Purana Itihasa, in which the importance of that thing will be told, where we should not possess anything, our goal should be Paramatma. After that, then how the Paramatma is to achieve it, come to the Upanishads. So, Aradhi Asmai Anna Vidya Chakshate. How wonderful it is, you know. Please remember again and again, you don't need to call the Atithi. If they come, your attitude. You are so busy in your own sadhana. But yet, for the clarity of the runam, for the various reasons, some atithis come. That is the test for your integrity. Are you disturbed in mind? मैं साधना कर रहा हूँ ये क्यों आया आज? You know, if that disturbance has come means you are not mature. You have to manage your study sadhana hours in such a manner. If at all some atithi comes, you are able to take care of this. And once, twice, thrice you have done, you have enjoyed it. Again, don't get caught up in that. यार और कोई भी अतिथि आ जाए तो मैं उनको भी इतना आनंद से पिलाकर उनको वसति दे दूंगा, खाना भी दे दूंगा, आराध्य स्मय कहूंगा. Again, फिर that is the मनोराज्यम again. This nakanchana was otherwise, if at all someone comes, you don't make anything as business other than Parabrahma Tattva. Nothing can be our business. Can we come to that level of maturity as soon as possible? See, We can try. We can ask the God to bless us also. Now, having done all that, while contemplating at one time on the pure Brahman on the seat while trying to cross each of the Annamaya, Pranamaya, Adi Kosha. How do we do? Become aware of the Kosha, every detail of the Kosha, from what root it has come, and final thing to be done about it is, अरे ये तो सब्जेक्ट है, इसके अंदर कोई और दूसरा है जिसके कारण ये है. In that inquiry, you go to Prana. Then you go to Mana, you go to Vijnana. You see the Ananda, but don't go there. Through the Vijnanamaya Kosha, introverted हो गया, so it leads us to the Hridaya Akasha or Vijnanamaya Guha. Both are same. And then through that you enter into. While doing that one inside, to facilitate that again, in the Vyavahara, the Upasanas of Brahman are given. Upasana Brahma are given. Like when the non-Indian nation, let's say USA, let us say somebody called for a big program, beautiful, of the assembly or meeting of all the Indians, because जन्माष्टमी आ रहा है अभी, या गणेश चतुर्थी आ रहा है, or नाग पंचमी today, something. Then who come when the Indians are called? All the Punjabis will come, Gujaratis will come, Kashmiris will come, Dakshina Bharatiya will come, Tamilians, Kannadigas, and Telugus, Malayali, all will go there. The Odia वाले जाएंगे, the Bengal वाले जाएंगे, UP वाले जाएंगे. But then, what is the Upasana there? Do you call them like that? Oh, Punjabi Bandhu? No. You do only one Upasana. Even though they are variety, they are all Indians. One common. You are seeing all of them. You are giving bhojan to them. You are appreciating their arrival, contribution, whatever it is. But what is the continuous thought going on in the mind? That is सब भारतीय, क्योंकि भारतीयों को मीटिंग में मिला है. In the same way, when our goal is Brahman, we have to see everything as Brahman. That is called Upasana. In Gita Adi Shastra, the Saguna Sakara Upasana or Vibhuti Upasana was taught. That my Ishtadeva is Krishna. Krishna alone is this tree, that mountain, this river, that object, this animal, that bird. Mruganam cha mrugendroham vainate yascha bhakshinam. I am the lion among all the mrugas. I am the what do you call Garuda among all the eagles or vultures. So my Lord Krishna is this. Lord Krishna tells, I am that. Upasana. Same is here. Just replacement is that of Krishna with the Parabrahma. Therefore, the two great, very essential upasanas, without which the going deep onto the meditations in the meditation seat will not happen. We will be pulled back again and again. Without these two outer upasanas, very necessary, they are told. Just like without doing the 10th chapter of Vimukti, 11th chapter of seeing everything in God, the 12th chapter of Bhakti, you can never gain. Without that bhakti up to 7 to 12, without the karma yoga 1 to 6, we can't become fit for the jnana marga of 13 to 17 or 18. Systematic Bhagavad Gita. So to systematic is scriptural knowledge. So to systematic is spiritual sadhana and spiritual evolution. That is why the Manushihi Samagnya are told, Daivihi Samagnyas are told. When it is Samyak Agnya, now you have to do in Samyak Rupena. The whole crux word, important word in this entire discussion is these two things is samagnya. Samagnya means samyak agnya. A very wonderfully, necessarily made agnya by Shruti Mata. Generally, Shruti Mata only gives the knowledge and leaves to our freedom. Is it not? Very rare are the occasions where the agnya is given. Only when the Shruti Mata is overpowered in her own love for the sadhakas as her own children. And it is coming to a closure now. इतने साल से हम पढ़ रहे हैं, 1.5 साल हो गया. खत्म हो रहा है ना उपनिषद. अब श्रुति माता को भी लगा तो इनको प्यार से कुछ मैं दूं. क्या दूं? They have to get moksha, nothing other than that. To get the moksha, they have to do internal and external sadhana. Internal, I already taught them. The outer thing, let me tell them to do, and let me give them the gift of order. आज्ञा ही गिफ्ट है श्रुति माता का. And in that Agnya gift, there is her love. Why? Only when these things are done, then we'll be smoothly riding on the seat of dhyana, transcending each of the kosha consciously. Therefore, samagnya, samyak agnya, as much crystal clearly I am giving you this agnya, so much crystal clearly you have to do. Like any teacher in any chemical physical laboratory, they give the आज्ञा. जैसे आज्ञा करते हैं किसको किस में मिलाना है, एग्जैक्टली वैसे ही करो, so the expected result will come. The आज्ञा is not here ego he is showing. The आज्ञा is बेटा ऐसा करोगे तो रिजल्ट आएगा, नहीं करोगे तो नहीं आएगा, इसलिए रिजल्ट के लिए तुमको जरूर करना है. That जरूर करना is आज्ञा, not my ego. That I want to dominate you, I want to force you. ऐसा नहीं होता. No guru does. Agnya to show his dominance or his ego on the disciple. Guru's agnya is just because that is the condition in which alone the result expected comes. याद रखना इन बातों को. बोथ इन माता पिता का आज्ञा, द ट्रैफिक पुलिस का आज्ञा, द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का आज्ञा, द गुरु का आज्ञा, द भगवान का आज्ञा is only to say that it's a necessary condition to fulfill for your own evolution. There is nothing selfish about anywhere at any of these 5 examples. So here also the Manushi Samagnya, we have to accept it as an Agnya and you have to really practice. And what are the practice? At each of the faculty level, do the best. And that doing best, consider it as Brahman. So what is the work of the Vani? The work of Vani, the speech. Then do the best of the speech and consider that to be the expression of Brahman. That is the meaning of Kshema iti vachi. You know? In the remaining things also, Yoga Kshema iti prana panayoho. Yesterday, day before, we dealt exhaustively, so I am not repeating. Karmeti hastayo. Let the hands be never without doing work. And let the work be the best of the work, and understand that in the form of that work, what is expressing is the pure Brahman alone. Brahma Upasana is up. So in the hands as a perfect karma, Parabrahman is there. In the legs as a perfect gati, Parabrahma alone is there. Gatiriti padayo. Then Vimuktiriti payo. In all the dropping away, throwing away of all the gross, subtler impurities from the heart, in that Rupa, again the same Parabrahma is there. These are samples, 5 of them. Using those sample exercise throughout life, in perceiving something, in responding to the world, try to visualize everywhere that Brahma Tattva only. The other unsaid things are the vision in the eye, the audition in the ear, the smelling in the mouth, the nose, the tasting in the mouth. All these Shruti Mata did not say. Therefore, पाँव में चलने का, हाथ में काम करने का है ब्रह्म, तो नाक में सूंघने का कौन है फिर? उसमें क्यों नहीं बताया श्रुति माता ने? She has told you some examples. You apply your dimag in everything. This is the meaning of what is said in Gita. Brahmani adhaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti yaha lipyate na sa papena padma patra vivambasa. And kayena manasa buddhya kevalairindrayena pi yoginaha karma kurvanti sangam tyaktva atma shuddhaya. युक्तः कर्मफलं त्यक्त्वा शान्तिमाप्नोति नैष्ठिकीम् अयुक्तः कामकारेण फले सक्तः निबध्यते. सर्वकर्माणि मनसा सन्न्यस्य आस्ते सुखं वशि नवद्वारे पुरे देहि नैव कुर्वन् न कारयन्. These are all the shlokas of Gita and the Upanishads. If you can coordinate and see how beautiful connection will be there. And both of them talk same. Whether you study this or that, the important thing is have you understood or not? Are you practicing it or not? That we have to do. So, in and through the performance of every of the faculties, if you can visualize the Brahman, it is called as Atma Sambandhi Brahma Upasana. मानुषी समाज्ञा, मनुषी समाध संबंधी क्या कहते हैं? ब्रह्म उपासना. इति मानुषी उपासना समाज्ञा. We have to do it, not only by knowing it. And every day I'm going to gym, and instructor is teaching me how to do gym. But have you ever gone to any of those instruments and no अभी किया नहीं? अरे नहीं किया तो you will not build your body. हर दिन जा रहे हैं, सत्संग सुन रहे हैं, वो क्या कहते हैं ना, दैट इंस्ट्रक्टर, द ट्रेनर हु इज देयर, ही इज एक्सप्लेनिंग दिस इंस्ट्रूमेंट, दिस हैज टू बी डन दिस टाइम, एट दिस टाइम, इन दिस मेनी फॉर्म्स, इट्स इफेक्ट ऑन द बॉडीज, देखो इट इट ब्रिंग्स स्ट्रेंथ टू योर काफ मसल्स और योर शोल्डर्स. वो कुछ बोल रहा है, वो आप सब सुन रहे हैं, बट नेवर वेंट ऑन टू आइदर द डम्बल्स और एनी ऑफ द ट्रेडमिल्स और एनी ऑफ द रिंग्स और एनी ऑफ द वेट लिफ्टिंग, कुछ भी नहीं गया, तो क्या होगा? इन द सेम वे सब सुन रहे हैं, अच्छा बढ़िया है, दिट इज कॉल्ड एज मानुषी समाज्ञा, आगे बढ़ो. अरे आगे साधना करो तो बढ़ते हैं, सत्संग में बढ़ने से आगे जीवन में आगे नहीं बढ़ते, करने से ही होता है. So in this way, extend so many whatever the human related things are to be seen as what do you say, the Brahma only. Not only yours, anybody. Kshema iti vachi, I told you, I have to speak Kshema. Second, wherever whoever is speaking Kshema, understand that that is Brahman expression. Even somebody is not speaking Kshema, but you must know the presence of Brahman alone is making them speak. That thought is called a Kshema Upasana. Kshema रूप में ब्रह्म है ना. देखो somebody जब कोमा में रहता है, धीरे बोलने लगता है, और क्या बोल रहा है, दैट इज नॉट इंटरेस्टेड. बोल रहा है, जिंदा है. आंखें खोल लिया, he doesn't know what is looking at or what he want, जिंदा है. In the same way, that fellow is talking whatever nonsense, that is personal, but talking shows that Brahman is there in it ना. तो वही तुमको क्षेम इति वाची उपासना है. वाणी ही क्षेम है, फिर वाणी में क्षेम शब्द निकले तो और अच्छी बात है, बट यू कांट कमांड अदर फेलो to speak Kshema. What is his nature, he will do. But you can't avoid that fellow. You know, in these are the upasanas very necessary to be known, because very rare that we get an opportunity to be all alone with us to do our own sadhana. तब भी हमारा मन अंदर का तो परेशान करता है. Most of the time, though we are sadhaka, we have to be with the people and we have to interact with them. And every interaction creates such an ego, such a big fight. Then how can you sadhana? दिमाग खराब करते हुए रजो तमो गुण से क्षिप्त मूड विक्षिप्त बनाते हुए, तो सच पीपल दिस इज रिक्वायर्ड. लेट द हस्बैंड स्कोल्ड क्षेम इति वाची, ही इज यूजलेस. सुबह सुबह जाके स्वामी के सामने बैठते हो, क्लास सुनते हो, क्या है ये, काम नहीं है क्या? यू गिव ए स्माइल एंड से क्षेम इति वाची, इन हिम ब्रह्मन इज एक्सप्रेसिंग. if you react, you know, 1 hour you don't listen to me, you are sitting here, but only remember all that. For a grahastha, these practices are very essential to maintain the balance of the mind as well as focus on the self. अर्लियर मानुषी उपासना दैवी दोनों का भी बहुत बहुत जरूरी होता है. I'm just giving an idea. We do the Kshema from our side. Other side Kshema आता है, that is Brahman. Even if the Kshema is not there in the words and their meaning, you should know that Brahman is there, therefore he is able to speak. यह अंत प्रविश्य मम वाच विमा प्रसुप्ताम संजयति. Not only in me, in everyone. The sleeping voice is woken up and made to speak by that Narayana only, by that Brahman only. So to other things. Yoga Kshema. Anybody does any nonsense to us also, in that also we should see our own yoga kshema. मार तो नहीं डाला उसने, सिर्फ धोखा दिया ना, सो यार क्षेम, उससे वैराग्य मिला कि नहीं, हाँ वही योग है. लाइक somebody cheated me of some money, he did not kill me, I am kshema, and so too that helped me in getting vairagya, that be careful when dealing with the people, especially financial matters. That's called yoga. तो योगा क्षेम मिल गया उसके प्राणायाम से. So in this way, even in everything that's happening to us from the world, we have to see the Brahma presence. Ourselves to do only these things. Use your pranapana shakti only for the yoga kshema of yourself and the world. So to gatiriti padayo. Karmidastu. Somebody has done the pickpocketing with the hand. But that's a crime. Then what to do? Do you want to carry the crime and the criminal and the thought that he is a criminal in your mind? Then you are not sadhak. And sadhana, what is? We are going to say, but don't publicize this sadhana. What is the sadhana? The expertise in his hand to pick that pocket without the knowing of that owner of pocket is Brahman expressing. He is doing that. He can do this with same expertise, his own money in the pocket of that person. But he has not evolved to that level. There are some parents in some movies you see. Chori chupke, they keep money in the pocket of the children. Put the money, not take away. In many of the cases, the children take the money from the pocket of father. नोट देखा 10 रुपए के कितने अनगिनत है, 2-4 उठा ली, पता ही नहीं चलता। उन दिनों में ऐसे होता था, 1 रुपए, 2 रुपए, 10 रुपए ऐसे ला के रखते थे, दे नॉट काउंटेड एवरी टाइम। सो उसमें 2-4 बच्चे ले जाते बिना बताए। दैट्स अ वेरी लोएस्ट लेवल। हाईएस्ट लेवल, फादर हिमसेल्फ पुटिंग इन द पॉकेट। He can do it, but he is not doing it. He is only picking up. We are not interested in putting money or taking money. We are interested in seeing Brahman in that karmeti hastayo. And don't publicize it. Somebody picking pocket, Brahman is working. Don't make Brahman as criminal and file FIR against him. You understood? You have to know clearly the sadhana, and that much we have to do. And in this world, you see how many human beings with their hands are doing how much of the work at this very moment. All over the world में the lakhs and lakhs of those sweepers बेचारे, they are cleaning the roads and all. Equal number of people are working in farms, in that खेती में. Same number are working in different times, places of requirement. So every one of them working through their hands. And who is the one who is making their hands work? Karmeti hastayo. So don't see the person, don't see the person's hand, don't see the person's hand doing a particular work. Just see the workmanship in the hand and know that it is Brahman. It's a limited sentence, a sentence which is limiting our unnecessary thinking and which is making think the right thing. कर्मेति हस्तयो, हाथ है कि है, कर्म कर रहा है कि हाँ, वो हाथ के द्वारा कर्म के रूप में परमात्मा ही एक्सप्रेस कर रहे हैं. किसका हाथ है, कौन सा काम कर रहे हैं, दैट इज नॉट आवर इंटरेस्ट. किसका हाथ है, इमीडिएटली यू हैव अ कंपैरिजन. कौन सा कर्म कर रहे हैं, इमीडिएटली यू हैव लेबलिंग. आवर जॉब इज नॉट दैट. His hand is there, it is working. Through that hand's work, who is expressing is Brahman. So to Gadriti Pada. Whose Pada? We are not interested. Where is he going? We are not interested. Are the legs are walking or not? Yeah, that walking is Brahman. You understood? This is how we have to train. What is seen outside and how we react inside. This is what decides samsara and sadhana. At the call of the samsara, we were only worried about what work, what person. That was creating just samsara. At the time of sadhana, we are not worried about those things. Inside our mind, we are seeing only the presence of Brahman in that. Our goal is Brahman, not the upasana, not the things. Please remember, लाइट जल रहा है कि नहीं, या सो बिजली है कि नहीं, हाँ. तो बिजली है पता करने के लिए लाइट डाला. हमको ना लाइट से पर्पस है, ना बिजली लाइट को जला रहा है पर्पस है. ब्रह्म ही इज आवर पर्पस. And you cannot establish the relation between the electricity and the electrical equipments by your logics, by your any scientific methods. The whys and hows of it, you can't. You just accept it. Because when there is no electricity, there is no bulb glowing. When the electricity is there, bulb is glowing. Therefore, electricity is the cause of the bulb's glow. You accept it. Same way, in the absence of Parabrahma, the legs cannot walk. In the presence of Parabrahma, legs are working. The walking. Therefore, the walking is possible because of Brahman. Exactly how the Brahman there inside and walking, you can't determine it. वही माया है. And without petrol, the vehicle will not move. Only when you put the petrol, vehicle will move. And therefore, because the petrol, the vehicle is moving. Exactly how you can't show. It's peculiar things, please remember. Like I am alive, therefore I am talking. I am talking, therefore I am alive. Exactly, I can't know the relation between my life in me and the talking. किधर है दिखाओ, अब दिखता नहीं वो. These are all through the happenings we assume or we presume, we accept the cause behind. So in the same way, how the Brahman is making the legs work, that you can't prove. Legs are working, no? Yeah. Without Brahman, they cannot work. They are working or walking, therefore, Brahman is there. Full stop there. Our purpose is not to establish a relation between them, nor to look at the legs walking or where they are walking. Our purpose is the Brahman. Be clear about it. In the interactions in the world, we may get lost in the karma, in the upadhi. Therefore, to avoid that, we are told to do these bahya antara samagna upasanas, daivi and manushi. The upasana is not goal, not missing Brahman and not allowing the world to enter into us. That is the goal. Our main pursuit is meditation. In that, we are going beyond Panchakoshas and trying to see self. While doing that only, when we have to 24 hours to koi kar nahi sakta, therefore in the remaining time when you are with the world, when you are with the upadhis, with the world when you are there, the nakanchana vasdo pratyachakshita. With the upadhis when you are there, kshema iti vachi yoga kshema. In this way, like some people, they are on the table with their research. थोड़ा थक जाते हैं. Then they take a cup of coffee. Somewhere they stand outside, glancing the outer world. Still they are doing the research only in the mind. Mainly the poets, ऐसे होते हैं लोग. They change the place, but the mind is Brahman only, or their own poem only. So too, from the meditational seat, you change the place, but the theme should not be changed. But there's the tendency to change the theme because there is the duality, there the upadhi is working. Therefore, the technique is given by Shruti Mata, Kshema iti vachi, Yoga Kshema iti pranapani. These are all the techniques for us to be in touch with Brahman, even though when we are using our upadhis and working. Our goal is none of this. This is only protection. The goal is to discover in the Guhayam that Satyam Jnanavantam Brahma. So in this way we have seen exhaustively the Manushi Samagnaha. Then we started yesterday Natha Daivi. How important. Yesterday we have seen first and second one. Truptiriti Vrushtau. In the Vrishti, in the rain, in the form of the Trupti, the Brahman alone is expressing. See, problem क्या होता है ना, we as an individual human beings, no, we look at from our own standpoint and then we assess the things of the world as something as natural calamity, something as very destructive, something is very dangerous. The Lord is not at all compassionate on us. अरे बाबा ये तुम you are not the only one in the world as a human. There are so many other plants are there, animals are there, insects are there, in a subtle form the jivas are there. दुनिया सबके लिए होता है. You understand? सबके लिए दुनिया होता है. At that time, when something is happening for somebody other than us, human beings, that happening may cause harm to us. When harm that is happening to us, we say, हमको कैसा हो रहा है? It's like when the road is widened. A new metro trail is put. They have to chalk out the road for the shortest distance. अब उसमें क्या है ना, वो 50, 60, 100, 2 साल 100 से लोग रह रहे हैं अपने घर मकान बना के. Now, if they cry, no, 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 our house we have to give up, they are forcing us there. In the large interest of the smooth flow of the traffic, as the city is developing, when the road has to be made, these fellows have to sacrifice it. See the example. You understood why the example is given? The individual houses are removed, though that individual is suffering so much because of it. Because so happily they were staying. अपना बढ़िया घर बनाया, ड्यूप्लेक्स बनाया, छोटा मंदिर भी बनाया घर में और अच्छा बगीचा भी बनाया. Everything is removed when you have to widen the road, when you have to make a railway track. अब no, individually is being at loss. और उसको पैसे देंगे compensation, but somewhere else will not get comfort. But in the interest of the larger picture, it is none or not. In the same way, you and as human beings may have the natural calamities like bhukampa, like the extreme weather, the what is it, floods, etc. But in the bigger picture, they are required. Now, the one who can understand it and is not suffering because of it is mature. And what is that bigger picture? I don't know. I need not know. He knows. I'm talking about Ata Daivi. In the Daivi happenings of the world, when you see there are a lot of problems happening to the humanity, how to understand it? First thing is, we human beings are not the only part of creation, only creation. We are a part of it. In that maintenance of total creation, somewhere some adjustments when they had to be done, in the doing, some harm happens to us. Example, take a bhukampa. When a bhukampa happens in the samudra, it may or may not come as tsunami. Same bhukampa when it happens in the jungle, nothing happens to us. But only in a town when the bhukampa happens, hundreds and thousands are, you know, उनके मकान सब चले गए, so many धसकर मर गए. Then we make it a big issue. In the earthquake that happened in 1999, at that time, in that city, 10,980 people died and all. Arey, the bhukampa in the ocean, bhukampa in the jungle, bhukampa here, it is same. It is a way of the nature to balance whatever imbalances. Why didn't we suffer so much where bhukampa happened in the jungle or in the ocean? Because there we were not there as human beings. And here we have suffered because of human beings died. So the suffering is not because of bhukampa. Suffering is we looked from the standpoint of human being. The Bhumi doesn't see whether they're human beings or not. जहाँ उनको कंपन करना है करता है वो. The forest fire, they don't look at अरे कौन से देश को इस बार जंगल जला दूं मैं. उसको जहाँ मौका मिलता है करता है. We looking from our standpoint, we name them as calamity. There's nothing called calamity. It's a natural phenomenon goes on by chance. If you are there, we are washed away in that. That's it. I'm just telling how to understand the prakritika happenings from the spiritual standpoint without compromising our sadhana to enhance our sadhana. And the higher level is सब में भगवान की लीला देखो. Or that Bhagavan in the Nirguna Rupa is Parabrahma. Seeing Parabrahma is called as Brahma Upasana, which is very, very essential. So, 5 samples of the Manushi Samagna are told, same way 4, 5, 6 samples of Daivi Samagna are told. Now, you have to expand it to express everywhere to such an extent that when you come out of the meditation seat, something is happening to you or to the other person or in between you, or something is happening in the Prakriti which is not in control. Attribute every of that is only to Brahman. That is called here the Brahma Upasana. A thunder happens, a lightning happens, heavy rains happen. वो सब परमात्मा है. तृप्त रीति वृष्टौ. Vrishti happens for trupti. That is a creation Bhagavan has done. But because of our scientific growths and nuisance and nonsense created, in the Prakriti some imbalance happens. Therefore, instead of trupti giving vrishti, sometimes is ativrishti and anavrishti, trupti raita vrishti. It is human created. Sometimes even Lord may wants to teach some lesson. कुछ भी हो. Don't get confused by this word. स्वामी जी बारिश में तृप्ति किधर है? इतनी बारिश हो गई हिमाचल में कितने लोग दुखी हो गए. In India now the contradiction. Somewhere is अतिवृष्टि, somewhere is अनावृष्टि. इधर भी अनाज नहीं है क्योंकि बारिश नहीं है, उधर अनाज नहीं क्योंकि बारिश में सब बह गए. Where is trupti in rain? Generally rain is for giving trupti only. But why the Prakritic imbalance? Human made. We have done it. We have destroyed the whole atmosphere. Everything we have changed. So the nature gets disturbed, no? So if such silly questions like a worldly person they come, the answer is this logic. It is man-made calamities. If not, maybe Bhagavan is a part of that. Part of his management. Once in a while he does it. No, the heavy rains when it happened, some people suffered, but others said, "अच्छा हो गया इस बार बढ़िया बारिश हो गया." Like I gave you the example of removing the houses and made the road or railway. Those 100 or 1,000 houses people, they might have suffered for some time, but lakhs of people who were committing in the newly made track, they are all happy. So उनके तृप्ति के लिए हुआ. And when the heavy rains, floods come, so many of the aquatic animals like fishes and all, they get sufficient water. They are also jiva. भगवान को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता कोई मछली है कोई मनुष्य है. He himself comes in every avatar. उनके भी उन जीवों के कैटरिंग के लिए भगवान करते हैं. In that bargain, some human bodied jivas may have to leave the human body. भगवान को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. So these are all very subtle things to remove the obstructing questions, doubting questions while we do the upasanas. Because our mind is always negative. तो नेगेटिव ही सोचता है, कोई भी पॉजिटिव पता है, लाइक दिस तृप्त रीति वृष्टो वेरी तृप्ति इन वृष्टि स्वामी जी। हमेशा बारिश होती है तो पानी लीक होता है। अरे बारिश हो रहा है, पानी लीक क्यों हो रहा है? तुम्हारा घर ठीक नहीं है। यू कांट ब्लेम द रेन फॉर दैट। लाइक दैट एग्जाम्पल ऑफ केदारनाथ 2013, how that Kedarnath, Mandakini has flown and it has made so much havoc. She did not make any havoc. She just traveled in her path. In her path, you stupid fellows made your house and you blame her. Pilgrim places are to be visited and come back. You cannot make samsara there and spoil that place. You can't. इसलिए वो हिल लॉक पे मंदिर होते थे, नीचे से ऊपर चढ़ो, डू प्रणाम पूजा एंड कम डाउन, यू कांट स्टे देयर. That is why the temples are on the top, that we should not be there to pollute it. We were polluting it everywhere, commercial. सारे पुजारी लोग भी वहाँ कमर्शियल बन गए, मेकिंग सो मेनी. भगवान ने कहा चल मैं अपने रास्ते में जाता हूँ, मंदाकिनी रिवर. शी जस्ट केम, all gone. No, we have to learn the art of looking it from the correct standpoint, not your or my standpoint. There are three things, no? Your standpoint, my point standpoint, correct standpoint. Neither you are correct, not I am correct. Correct alone is correct. That seeing the correct standpoint is the Ishvara Leela, and pacify yourself. And as a Manushya Hela, as a human, what nonsense we do, if you can avoid, then both of them as synergy will help us only. By the way, none of this is Vedanta. It is only to quieten the mind's vagaries. Now coming to the point, Truptiriti Vrushtau. In that rain, the Trupti Rupena, that Parabrahma alone is to be visualized by us. And how rain and Trupti related? Through the rain only, the crops, through the crops only, all the consumable goods and the required consumable goods are sufficiently proclaimed through the food, through the consumption of the food. And in the Trupti Rupa kaun hai? Parabrahma only. In that way, both way it is. Second thing is what? Therefore, connect it with the Nakanchana Vasana Pratyachakshita. What is the connection there? Anybody coming to you or you going to them, take that food sufficiently in such a manner that they become Trupta. And see in that Trupti the Brahman. मैंने हमने देखा कल, वर्षा की तरह जो भी देने हैं लोगों को दे दो, जिससे आपको उनके आंखों में तृप्ति दिखे, so that you see the Brahman in that Trupti. Like the mother sees in the joy of the child her own joy or her own self after feeding that child or loving that child. These are all very intricate, very subtle sadhanas of a totally different world together. Those are attached to senses, those are attached to the bhoga of the world. Such a aviveki mood, उनको ये सारे बातें समझ में भी नहीं आती, abstract लगते हैं. But for a purified person inside, freed from all the Arthakamadi Purushartha, for him these are the entertainments, wherein he makes everyone Trupta, in that he sees the Lord. And for making Trupta, he will do the Varsha of whatever he can do. Truptiriti Vrushtau. See how many meanings can be taken out of it for sadhana. Some of us require many, some of us require few, some of us require one sadhana from one point. Then let us see today the second one. What is the second one? Balamiti vidyati. Is it not? Tata bala rupena vidyuti. So, before that, what is it? अथ अनंतरम दैवी दैव्यः देवेषु भवाः समाज्ञाः उच्यन्ते. Now the deveshu samagnya, when you see the divine phenomenal forces happening, what is the agnya given by the Shruti Mata is to see the Brahman in them also. Samples के लिए क्या कहा उन्होंने? Few of them. First of them is what? Trupti iti vrushtau. So vrushtehe of the rain, annadi dvarena, through the medium of the food, etc. Trupti hetutvad, because they become the cause of the trupti. Therefore, Brahma eva, the reality alone, trupti atmana, as the self of the trupti, or as the trupti which is the self, vrushtau vyavasthitam, is established in the vrushti, the rain. It in this way, Bhashyam, one has to do the upasana in the mana. Upasana is a repetition of the one fixed thought. One of the upasana is japa. Another upasana is Vigraharadhana. What is Vigraharadhana? It's upasana. What is upasana happening? That this is not a stone, this is hologram, this is not hologram, this is Vishnu. The stone says hologram mein aa gaya, hologram se Vishnu aa gaya. So again and again saying that this is Vishnu is called upasana. So that our thought, whenever we look at it, though the eye presents a stone to our mind, but because of upasana bala, we call it as Vishnu. This is called upasana. Repeatedly saying. We do that only. The married, immediately she says, is my husband, husband. Upasana kar karke, ek saal mein or few days mein, he is my husband, she is my wife. These are upasana. Otherwise, as yesterday told by Lakshmana to Vibhishana, nobody has a relation to anybody. It's equal like any birds, animals is human also. But we do upasana for a particular purpose. Then those relativities are established which are required for the social, human, proper life. But the upasana, we are stressing on the point upasana, and when that example is given, it may have any side effect. To avoid the side effect, we extend the example. That's how the discussion. So, mm, mm, so trupti hetutvat brahma eva trupti aptana vrushta vyavasthitanti upasyam. The upasana is the repetition of the thought. And why repetition of the thought to be done? Because the wrong thoughts are rooted in our heart. Why that wrongness of the thought? Because is there any trupti or even vrishti without pure Brahman? Brahman alone is reality. That alone is expressing as the trupti and the trupti hetu as the rain. So we are lost in the rain and we are lost in the trupti. We have forgotten the Brahman. So what we are told in the rain, the vrishtav, whatever the trupti that's coming, that is Brahman. We are told the practice. Upasana. This is one example. Like that, in any of the anubhuti, we should be able to recognize the Brahman. One sample is Vrishtav Trupti. Iti Trupti Atmana Vrishtav Vyavasthitam iti Upasyam. And the expansion of this example is what? Anything when is given in a Vrishti Rupa, required things, it gives Trupti. Is it not? Like in good olden days, होटल में जाके ना एक प्लेट इडली मांगकर फिर उनको ना 3-4 प्लेट सांभर मांगते थे. He says ले लो और भी ले लो. He used to give the sambar like a vrishti. Therefore, these fellows will order only one idli, but 4 plate they like sambar. They feel trupta. A giver also is happy. उन दिनों में दाल का कम था कीमत. If you ask now extra half cup of chutney or sambar, he says bill double हो जाएगा. Therefore, there's no vrishti here. Therefore, there's no trupti. खा तो जाएगा. Again, he says, yeah, he has not given chutney sufficiently. I'm giving the example. Anything when is given as a vrishti, there is trupti. Whether it is the food, whether it is a money, whether it is service, whether it is a help, whether it is a love, whether it is any recommendation. Totally, the life should be full of vrishti, should give trupti to us givers, then you to listener or the receiver. Like I should have the vrishti of giving satsang to you, in which I should find the trupti, and you also should feel that trupti. Truptiriti vrishtav. Like Puja Gurudev. With full, like a vrishti only he has done his work. By that he says, I have no regrets. I have full contented in my work. And because of that, vrishti, anybody who came in contact with him, they were trupta at their own level. The government also, present government, is very trupta. Because they have done so much of developmental projects. So many. And getting benefit of that, the whole praja of the nation is very happy. They are not aware. Look at the other countries through that recessions, through that pandemics, through that natural calamities. The so-called big giant countries are also superpowers. They are dwindling and shaking and suffering. In India, it is growing. People are not aware because of the wrong publicity, because of the politician nonsense, all the opposition party. But the point is, the work trupti से हो रहा है, उसका result जो उसको देख रहे हैं उनमें तृप्ति है. तृप्तिरेति वृष्टौ. Because neither laziness nor selfishness nor power mongering. Wherever the laziness comes, selfishness comes, I want to have the power comes, whole attention is only on that. Nobody is worried about the nation, like the neighbor countries. Pakistan ho, Sri Lanka ho, Nepal ho, Bangladesh ho, in them this immaturity is going on, which our country also had from long time. Now maturely they are working. So Truptihi wholeheartedly work. Vrishtav. Wonderful thought, is it not? Like a Varsha, we have to live our life fully dynamically so that they are happy, the people around. Trupta. एंड आवर वर्षा इज डिफरेंट टाइप्स एट डिफरेंट टाइम्स. कभी बोलने की वर्षा चाहिए होगा, कभी काम करने की वर्षा होना चाहिएगा, कभी पैसे देना पड़ेगा, कभी साइलेंटली रहना पड़ेगा, कभी कोई ज्ञानोपदेश देना पड़ता है, कभी प्रेयर करना पड़ता है. एनीथिंग डन एज ए वृष्टि, द पॉजिटिव थिंग्स, इट गिव्स तृप्ति. इन दैट फॉर्म परमात्मा इज देयर. सो टू से, in the form of the rain or through the rain, to how many beings the Paramatma is giving the trupti, dekho. It is little devotional bhavana. And in the form of the trupti in all those beings is Brahman alone. When the rain comes, not only human beings, the plants, the animals, the birds, they're called the mendak vagera, every one of them are, they enjoy only. In that way, from this one sentence, in so many ways we can understand so many things for our upasana. Okay. Second is balamiti vidyuti. So, what is vidyuti? Balarupena vidyuti. So, in that vidyut kanti, in the rupa of the bala, Paramatma Parabrahma alone is there. Like that you visualize. Here vidyut and bala together in today's world called as vidyut shakti. Okay. That Vidyut Shakti you have to interpret as any Shakti. The two types of Shaktis are, one Shakti is slowly released, some other Shaktis are instantaneously released. The Vidyut is instantaneously released Shakti. And the nuclear reactors and all, they slowly release the energy as required. Like electrical train engine. It is called Balamiti Vidyuti, that instantaneously it releases electricity, and that's how the train is moving so fast, pulled by the engine electrical. But earlier, we had only not the electrical engines, we had thermal engines, coal. है ना, इतना बड़ा वो कोयला होता था, उसमें डालते थे और जलता हुआ वो आग से और गर्मी से स्लोली चुकु 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 द ट्रेन विल गो एंड ऊपर धुआं निकलता है, धुआंधार. We used to enjoy it. Just 100 200 meters away from railway station, we used to stay for many years there. चुक चुक रेल द ट्रेन आते ही यू कैन सी द स्मोक कंटिन्यूअसली गोइंग ऑन. और उसका एक लाइन, जैसे ट्रेन आगे जा रहे उसका स्मोक भी पीछे, लाइक द फ्लाइट आल्सो. So that is slowly releasing energy. So that is the Koila Shakti. Other is Vidyut Shakti. So whether the power released instantaneously or power released slowly, that power is Paramatma. The source of power is Vidyut. Vidyut Shakti. Thermal Shakti. Hydro Shakti. So one example is given here. We have to do the expansion of it in so many ways. Now see, in the Upanishad Kala only of thousands of years back, the mentioning about Vidyut came. Now is the power of the Vidyut in the whole world is not today. Vidyut Shakti से ही सारा दुनिया चल रहा है. That time it is mentioned. The whole world will run because of Vidyut Shakti. Anyway, we discovered some electricity power and we called it as electricity in English. They called and we called it as our Vidyut. ये पदों का फिर झंझाट में नहीं फंसना, टॉपिक को पकड़ लेना. So balamiti vidyati. So in all that vidyut, the balam with which it is doing so many works, variety of works, all of that is his only. Don't limit the example to the vidyut में बलम. उस दिन में वही होता था, अब तो विद्युत से इतना हो रहा है. It is more easy for us to do this upasana. So many electrical equipments are working because of electricity, and in that all the power is the Brahman only. Please remember, it is an upasana. You can't show the Brahman there, Brahman is experienced as self. Understood? For that, the abstraction are the thoughts. Thoughts are of the worldly things and beings. So when we see the Paramatma only in those things and beings, the thought will be of Paramatma. It will be in line with our inner meditation. For this, these upasanas are done. उपासनाएं क्यों किए जाते हैं? अंतरंग साधना का डिस्टर्ब नहीं करने के लिए, उसको मदद करने के लिए. So then, yasha iti pashushu jyotiriti nakshatreshu prajatiramrutamanandam iti upaste sarvam iti akashe. These are the four more when we see our daivi samagnya is understood. Then comes tat pratishteti upasita pratishtavan tat brahmana parimara iti upasita pariyena mriyante pariye priya yaschaya purushe. Before that kshema iti yoga iti karma iti, what is that? तन महान भवति मानवान भवति तन्नमैति भासित नम्यन्ते इसमें कामाः. Beautiful portions we will see. Each one of them like this only patiently study. 2-4 दिन और लग जाए. Please have patience and enjoy the meaning of every of the mantra along with Bhashya. And then in this slowly, the art of seeing Brahman in everything, even when our indriyas are open and functional and visualizing the world, will develop. Thus, आंख खोला, then only also Brahman. आंख बंद कर ली, then also Brahman. So that way, in both times when we are in touch with Brahman, our upasana is relentless, continuous. That stage we have to achieve. This Shruti Mata training us for that, because she doesn't want us to be wasting our all this study of 1.5 year without experiencing the truth. ये उनकी कृपा है, इसलिए वो उपासना हमको बता रही है. Let's see tomorrow. Om 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 Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. परम ऋषिभ्यो नमः. परब्रह्मणे नमः. श्रुतिमात्रे नमः. तत्सत् ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. Those days, Vidyut, the meaning was the clouds and the lightning there. Even the rupture of two stones, wherever the Kanti used to come, they called it as Vidyut. Today's world, we have discovered these powers. Out of respect to our the tradition, we name it as Vidyut. Whether this Vidyut of human discovered today or the Vidyut eternal of the Prakriti, both of them have the bala to accomplish so many things. In the form of that bala, that Parabrahma is there. This is what the purpose of our this upasana and this study. Focus on that. All other are just details. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Join in 2 minutes. एक minute. Mhm. ज्योति